Y'all, it's football time in Tennessee, man. This week, I have just felt like a completely different human. I woke up, I swear it's like 60s. It's not like 80 in the morning anymore. I wake up, I see the people outside cutting the grass. I wake up, I just see people smiling. They must know that they got something, that there's something going on in Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm so excited. It was yesterday was the first day of practice, right? Yesterday was the first day of practice.
Yeah.
I had to bring back the old school starter. I had to wear it on a one-time term. It's football time, bro.
Bro, it don't seem real, honestly.
29 days.
It didn't seem real till yesterday, in my opinion. And then you see like all the player interviews and Heupel's interviewed,
And we
Hawley interviewed, Tim Banks, all the interviews, and it's like, man,
we
this
got a
feels
lot.
right. You you
We
you
got
made you said it, you made the comment the other day, like got the Coke bottles out there,
Yeah, they got the listen, y'all. We got a lot to talk about today, man. Happy Thursday. It's your boys from Straight Up Tennessee, man. And tap in with us. Let's get it.
From 40. On the way, a knuckleball. He got it!
Good people, welcome today, man, to Straight Up Tennessee. It's your boy Ruck in the building, joined by my guy Turner himself, man. Y'all know what to do. If you're watching on YouTube right now, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, man. Hit that bell notification right now. Join the channel, man. You can be a part of the Straight Up Tennessee family for as low as 99 cents a month. Get early access to all of our videos, man. You get a little entry right now, man. First 25 people that join the channel actually get to hop straight into our Discord server, where it is about to start heating up as the season gets closer. Y'all, 29 days away, man. We are already in there just talking about how excited we are. Join, man. Lock in with us. But also, man, if you're listening on Apple or Spotify podcasts, man, we're glad you're listening. Rate this thing 5 stars. Let the people know why they need to be listening to Straight Up Tennessee, baby, man. Just like Turn said earlier, though, you put the Coke bottles out on the podium. Josh Heupel walks up to the podium, y'all. It's football time, man, in Tennessee. I'm just excited. I'm so excited, man.
Man, I will say I'm so glad they got the media a microphone this year.
Yeah, so you can
I don't know if
actually
you've
hear
noticed that.
everything. Yeah,
Golly, dude. In the past, I'm like, what'd they say?
yeah.
I
Like
can't
they
hear what
pass
they're
a
saying.
microphone now around the room, so you can
Yeah,
hear the question and you can hear what Heupel's answering. It's beautiful. I mean, goodness gracious, they don't have millions and millions of dollars to do that, do they?
right.
Goodness gracious, y'all. Listen, man, if y'all have been just disconnected from the world or whatever it may be, Tennessee started practice yesterday on Wednesday, man, and it's just we probably have one of the top 5 best content creation teams I've ever
Dude,
seen, bro. They're nasty.
on top of it, bro, it's fire.
I mean, you see everything from practice. You get to see a glimpse of new guys. You get to see a glimpse of Coach Heupel just getting everybody locked in. It was either Rocky Top Insider or VolQuest. They post all of their videos from practice. They get the opportunity to meet with all the young kids. And yesterday, they got the opportunity to talk to like 8 freshmen. I can't remember all of them. I know it was 2 offensive linemen. I know Khalifa Keith got in there, Shandavion Bradley, David Hobbs, Tyree Weathersby. You got to talk to a few of those guys. But then the day before, on Tuesday, before everybody had to, everybody reported to camp on Tuesday. And then Wednesday was the first day of camp. So on that first day of reporting, They took all their team photos, they did all of that, and Josh Heupel met with the media, and you can just tell, like, he's always had this kind of swag to him,
Yeah.
I'm confident, even in year one, when he knew we weren't really, like, we were going to be okay. He thought we would be okay, and we did end up being like, all right, we was all right, 7-6 finish, but he was confident in year one, and now it's year three, and there's just a different kind of confidence, that the way he speaks about this team, man.
It's a different demeanor.
Massive.
Dude, I don't know, bro. Just hearing the coaches talk today too, man. Like, and even Heupel, like in his, conference, it's just like he said you can. One of the things that poked out to me is like you can, not to just jump right into it, but it was like you can tell that there's competition.
Oh yeah,
like on the field, like it ain't just like, hey, you show up, you're gonna get it. Like we ain't, you know what I mean? Like there's competition. You're gonna have to work for it.
yep. And that's what I love is this year, more than any year that I can remember, even when we had those good teams when Butch was here with AJ and Kurt and Josh and Jalen Hurd and Alvin Kamara, like, we really weren't that deep though, right? Like you had, I'm thinking specifically about 2016, right? You had Ethan Wolf at tight end. Nobody was really behind him, right?
Mm-mm.
You had Josh Malone, you had Palmer, you had Josh Smith. You didn't have like this massive deep receiver room where now you've got Brew McCoy, you've got Dante Thornton, Squirrel White, Ramel Keaton, Chaz Nimrod, Caleb Webb. Like,
Keep
the
going.
list goes on,
Yeah.
right? And so, like, it's just a different type of it's a different type of level that Tennessee is going to be able to play at this year, because the bodies are not just bodies anymore. They are quality bodies.
Yeah, and yeah, they were talking about, like, I know I keep talking about the press conference. Like they were asking Heupel about Mincy and Crawford. Like, they were asking, like, do you want your tackle set by the first game? And he was like, man, all them dudes are gonna have to play. And like, I think that's what we haven't had in the past. Like, I think you're gonna, like, we haven't been able to sub. I mean, our offense is so fast. We don't have much time to sub anyway. But like, we
Exactly.
got dudes to sub in if we need dudes to sub in.
Exactly. And we haven't had that.
No. Especially on the defensive side of the ball, really.
I don't know if you heard this today or yesterday, that Arion Carter, since he's been here since the spring, has gained 20 pounds. Him and Jeremiah T. Lander, both. These freshmen, I'm telling y'all, bro, they are going to play. I promise you they're going to get on the football field. I'm telling you, these young cats are going to get on the field.
Bro, I just think you talking about freshmen, dude. How are you 18 years old and you're 6'1", 230? I'm talking about Keith Khalifa or whatever. I can't say
Oh,
his
the
name
running
right.
back. Yeah, Khalifa Keith.
How are you 6'1", 230 and probably run a 4.5, 4.6?
Freshman.
At freshman, bro. Like,
who's
6'1",
tackling
230?
him?
6'1", 230 as a freshman, dog? Like,
bro, it's just exciting. One of the questions that I really loved, and you kind of talked about this earlier, but it was just kind of like an additive question talking about the spring. And the VolQuest, or whoever it was in there, asked, they said, in the first practice, if the first practice was clean, Josh Heupel said today was very clean.
mm-hmm.
Or yesterday, Wednesday, was very, very clean. There wasn't a lot of just like trash on the field. Like, guys played great. Guys practiced. That they practiced hard. They competed at a high level. Exactly the things he says. But someone asked him, like, if practice was clean today, then how much of this information from spring was retained? And Heupel goes through and just basically answers, and is like, when you get back in the summer and you get back now into fall camp, like, all of the stuff has to come faster than it did in spring ball, because now we're practicing back-to-back days, and every day you got to reset. Like, you can't come in every day and dwell on the last day. Like, if you had a bad day, you got to get rid of it. You got to reset. I think the word he said was like, you got to reset and grow. And he was like, offensively look great, defensively they look great, special teams look great. And he was like, I was just pretty pleased with a first day. And man, like, when you hear that, bro.
Well, and me personally, when I hear Heupel talking, when I hear all the coaches talk, like, I think you might disagree, you might agree with me on this. I think that hype is more this year than it was last year.
I think it's a different kind of hype because now we are expecting to be good.
Yeah, and I think
I'm not sitting here thinking about, like, bro. Yeah, and I'll get to this in a second, but I'm not sitting here thinking about Virginia, to be honest. As a fan, I'm not. I'm like, we're gonna dog walk Virginia.
Yeah.
That's the way my mind is, right? I'm like, get me to week 3. Just get me to week 3. And here in a second, and this is gonna be a whole episode that we talk about next week that I can't wait for, because y'all know tomorrow the Dylan Sampson show drops. Can't wait for y'all to listen to that. But next week we're gonna talk about it. Like, what is the most important game on the schedule? And you and I both are gonna say the same game. It's Florida. It's Florida. We haven't won in the Swamp since September of 2003, man. Like, and can I give the straight up Tennessee family a sneak peek? Can I just say, y'all, I kind of cheated this way, but I have family, former VFL, who will be with us on the week of the Florida game.
Oh,
and I'm not even going to tell you who it is, but I have family, real family. This brother married my cousin. So we family.
It's family.
And it is going to be an absolutely amazing show, and I can't wait to get him on with us. But just be ready. Like, this isn't a VFL that people are like, oh yeah, I remember him. Nah, you remember him. You remember him very well. So, but I was talking. I say that because I was talking to him about it. You know, he actually wanted to come on because during this time when he was playing, like, he was like, bro, we hate Alabama more, like way more. But you know, he was like, the magnitude now, how the game has changed and how Florida had just had that streak on us for so long, and Tennessee wins in 16. Now we win in 23 or 22 last year. This is the year, like, that the curse, you see what I'm doing quotations for everybody listening on Apple or Spotify. The curse, like, this is the year where, like, the curse is truly broken. You go down there and you win in Gainesville. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna set up the whole thing, bro. It's gonna set up the whole year. So
it is by far the most important game of the season. I think this game is like the Pitt game of last year.
Oh yeah. And I'm glad, and I like having it early. Like, I like, man, like, you're 3 weeks in and you're playing an SEC game. Like, whew, can't wait. But listen, we're gonna save that. We're gonna save those comments for next week, y'all. Monday is gonna be a banger live show. But man, today we kind of wanted to just chop it up really quickly about the topic. Obviously, you see it in the title, but who does Turn and I think the 3 most exciting players to watch this year for us personally? Like, who are we excited to see? 3 guys, based off of just, you know, excitement level from us as fans. There's no facts about this. This is just who we're excited to see. And I literally think me and Turn's answers are completely different. And so I'm very excited about this. So I want to go first, man. I think the first guy that I'm most excited to see this year is Tennessee junior defensive back Wesley Walker. I guess he's really a senior now, but it feels like he's a redshirt junior, but senior on the field. Defensive back Wesley Walker, man, the impact he made last year early, man. I think it was the Pittsburgh game. You know, we're losing to Pittsburgh at the time, 17-14. Pittsburgh has the ball. Slovis has been getting absolutely obliterated for the last 5 minutes. And we send Wesley Walker on a safety blitz. And I remember calling you and I was like, this dude, Wesley Walker? Like the way he flew downfield,
Yeah.
and he didn't just make a tackle. Like he emphatically made a tackle that completely turned the game around, because we were on our way. We were on the comeback train, but that defensive stop there against Pittsburgh really put us over the hump. And so there was more plays Wesley Walker made. I mean, I think about the Orange Bowl, man. Think about his progression from the Pittsburgh game to the Orange Bowl. Think about Kentucky. Think about him almost having a pick on Alabama. Like there's multiple things Wesley Walker did well last year. And I think now, in my personal opinion, him stepping into a starting role, he's going to have ample opportunity to prove that not only can he do it, but he belongs here and he will do it. So Wesley Walker, man, I'm very excited to see his progression in year 2 for him under Josh Heupel and Tim Banks, man, because Tim Banks is gonna send him, and he's gonna get opportunities to lay some wood, but he's also we're gonna see a lot more about what he can do in coverage, and that makes me excited too. So
you want me to go my one?
Oh yeah, baby, yeah.
My number one guy I'm most excited about to see this season is Aaron Beasley.
Bees.
Bro, I think I say that because I think the Orange Bowl, you got the full glimpse of what Aaron Beasley can do.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at stats from the Clemson game, bro. He had 12 total tackles, 10 solos, 2 assists, and 2 sacks. And that sack was nasty. Boy, was there quick, if you can remember that in the Orange Bowl.
Oh, I remember it was their first drive when Clemson got the ball.
Bro, and I don't think he gets talked about enough, because he's kind of, I don't want to say he's undersized, but he's kind of undersized in my opinion. 6'1", 220. We seen him at camp, and I was like, I thought Beasley be a little bit bigger than that. You know what I mean? But bro, he's a dog.
A dog, man.
I'm just excited about Beasley. I'm excited to see what he's going to do this year. I think he's going to be one of the leaders on the defense.
I think he has to be. You had Jeremy Banks last year, who was the emotional leader. We don't know how much communication he brought to the game, right? We can say it was a lot based off of what happened at South Carolina, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. We truly know how much that Jay Banks brought to that room and into this defense. But Aaron Beasley is definitely. I said this on the defensive episode here. It was probably a week ago now, man. Like each group, I went through each group and I said, who has to be that dog for each group? The defensive line, it has to be Omari Thomas. Has to be
100%.
Omari Thomas. He is the leader of this entire defense. Him, and let's go to the secondary. Him and Jalen McCullough are the leaders of this entire defense.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to move at the pace they move. If they really out here going crazy, being just attentive, they're alert, they're leading well vocally, but also by actions, like right now in practice. I'm not talking about game 1. Like if they are doing this now, bro, I'm telling you right now, it's just going to make that linebacker room get bigger, get faster, get stronger, because that's what they're doing right now. You got, like I told you, Arion Carter, 20 pounds gain. Jeremiah Telander, 20 pounds gain. Aaron Beasley, Keenan Pili. Aaron Beasley has to be the best guy in that linebacker room all year for us, man. And he has to stay healthy.
Yeah, and he's got experience. I think experience is a big thing, too. This is a third year as a true starter.
Third year, man. Third year under and in this system.
Yeah. Yeah. So, he knows. And the thing about Beasley, too, Beasley is great in coverage.
Great.
Honestly, if you go back and look.
Yeah. Aaron Beasley has to be it. So, go ahead with your second.
My second one, changing it from earlier. Defensive side of the ball, Slaughter.
Denico.
I think he's going to be a dog. I think he's going to be an absolute dog.
They were talking about on the 2-minute drill yesterday, just talking about different guys and how they looked and things like that. And they said, the thing that we found out, that everybody always asks the questions like, well, who's looking this? Who's looking better? Like, what do you know? And he said, the thing that we found out is that Denico Slaughter is a corner and he believes that he's a corner. And that to me lets me know that he probably on that field starting game 1.
Dude, 100%. I think so. I think he starts on at corner. I don't know who's going to be on the other side, but I think he is. I think he is for sure one of your starting corners.
Yeah. I agree, man. I think that Nico Slaughter is going to have a massive year. I think he has the opportunity to really separate himself and plant himself as a corner, right? He came in as a safety. His freshman year was the COVID year with Jeremy Pruitt. I don't know if you remember this. Like, I can remember him playing because, if I'm not mistaken, it was either Trey Flowers or Tank had broke their thumb or something.
McCullough played with a big old thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so did Trey Flowers, right?
Yeah, but somebody didn't play, and Danico Slaughter started that game against South Carolina in the COVID year. I'll never forget that. It was at South Carolina. It was the first game.
Yeah.
First game. And Danico Slaughter played, and I was like, who is this dude?
Bro, and it's just so crazy sitting here thinking about, like, you know, you got Danico, you got Burrell, you got it keeps going. Jerry Ludi Lolly, like it
He
just
call him Jerry Ludi Lottie.
Jerry Ludi Lottie, something.
His name is Gabe Judy Lolly.
Jerry Ludi Lottie.
Gabe Judy Lolly.
Gabe Judy Lottie. I got the Ludi Lottie.
Jerry Judy Lolly.
Something Lottie. But talking about that, like I don't know, man. It's crazy. I keep talking about it, the depth we have at these positions. Like, I just think back to that Bama game last year, bro. That during that last Bama drive, we had on a walk on. Was it corner or was it safety?
William Wright.
Yeah, a walk on the field. Which he did his thing, but still, I mean, we were not deep at all.
No, that's where we were. We had a walk on the field. Yes. Against Alabama in the biggest drive of the game.
The biggest drive of the game.
Yes. Lord have mercy, man. Oh, man. My second guy, man, that I am most excited to see this year is Tennessee running back Dylan Sampson. Not because he's on the show, but I just think, man, Samp showed us a lot last year. He showed us how explosive he could be. He showed us how quick he is to learn. You know, last year, everybody was just so on him for his pass blocking abilities. He tells us in the show that you'll see tomorrow, man, that he's actually gained 5 pounds. He's at 195 now. And, man, I'm telling you, 5 pounds makes a difference in football. Yes. Because you know that's not 5 pounds of fat, right? Like, he's gained 5 pounds of muscle. He's got a little bit bigger. You know, even spending time with him this summer, you could definitely tell, like, he got bigger in the right ways. His thighs are a little bigger. You could tell that his back was a little bigger. You know, you could tell those things. And you could also tell from videos, man. There was a crazy video that I saw like a little over a week ago with him, Jay Wright, and Jabari just working on bags. And his explosiveness. And I was just like,
yeah, and I agree, man. And you'll hear it on the podcast. This dude works. Puts in the work.
Puts in the work to be successful. And I just think that he's poised for a big year. I think he has the opportunity to solidify himself in 2024 as the guy, him and Jay Wright. I mean, who's to say this, man? Let's just say this. Jalen Wright's a junior.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say Jay Wright don't go crazy and goes to the league this year? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he could get drafted. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dylan Sampson has the opportunity to solidify himself as RB1 going into 24 this season. He's going to play. We know that. The way that the running back room works now, man, it's like, man, you could play 3 running backs in a drive.
Oh, by far.
You know, and so Dylan Sampson's going to get on the field. And so I think with D Samp, it's how much room, how much impact does he make with the opportunities given early? Obviously, Virginia, he's going to have an opportunity early to play in that football game. You know, I don't know how true this is, but you know, in the quarterback running back drills that Tennessee does, Joe Milton's normally handing the ball off to who's the starting one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes Joe, and then it goes to Nico, and then it goes to Gaston Moore.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that today or yesterday, and it was Joe and Jay Wright,
Mm-hmm.
Nico and D Samp, and it was Gaston Moore and Jabari Small. And so I was very like, what? And
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
mean,
interested to
it
see how that forms because I think that's going to have a lot of impact on, how much excitement I really am going to have for D Samp going into September 2nd.
yeah, and I mean, man, if honestly you're thinking about it, like I think that kind of comes like I feel like that's hard as a coach, like with the running back room Tennessee has because it's like, everybody knows Bari, he's got a bad shoulder. I mean, it's bad. So it's like it's one of them things like do you use Bari sparingly? Not and by sparingly, I don't mean like he's only gonna see the ball like 2-3 times a game. I don't mean that. I mean like do you let like Jalen Wright or D Samp like in the like get in the trenches, and then when you need that 1, 2, 3 yards, like you put Bari in. I'm not saying Bari's going to be third string. I don't believe that. I think Bari's the starter. Bari's the starter. But I wonder if it's one of those things like it's hard as a coach, like knowing Bari's past and his shoulder, like I don't know, man. Like you don't want him like just in the trenches, just like bow, 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 taking hits on that shoulder. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
think I
just
think
over
all
and
I
over.
think all three backs are going to see the ball a lot. Maybe
Yeah,
and maybe 10 a game.
each. And then
Yeah,
and
each.
you're kind of feeding that hot hand once you get to the second half,
Yeah.
kind of.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel that too a lot. And so um man, the last guy that I'm
We got
most
we
huh?
got the same one, so we can talk about it. I changed my
Oh.
mind earlier.
Oh, you did. Okay. So we're all on the same page here. The last guy that we're both most excited to see is Oregon transfer not Slap Mac, Big Mac, number 1, Dante Thornton Jr. Um, I don't know, man. I've seen too much film, bro. Like
Well,
the film don't lie.
no, and you see what Joey Halsley said today?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, he said that he's just rare. He's got rare
Yeah.
traits.
Said he's a freak. There's good players and then there's guys that have rare traits. That guy's extremely rare in what he can do on a football field.
I mean, I've seen too much film, Turner, and he didn't even get enough clock at Oregon. That's the thing that makes me so excited. The fact that Dante, you can play inside. Okay, we can line you up against a nickel who's gonna be about 6 foot. He gonna weigh about 190 to 205, maybe. You weigh 205, you're 6'5", and you're going to outrun him. Period. Right? Or or we can put you outside against a bigger corner and just throw it up and say, "Hey, dude, go get it."
And
Like,
he ain't small either.
no, man, 6'5", 205. Like that's great size because what it does is yes, at 6'5", you got to think Joe Milton's 235, so Joe outweighs him 30 pounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the receiver position, how physical is he going to be at that weight, man? He's going to be able to go mano a mano with the guy that lines up in front of him. I double, triple dog dare you to put a lot like those stacked formations last year where Kentucky stupidity putting linebackers on Jalen Hyatt. Do that to Dante Thornton and just see what happens.
Well, dude, and that's what I'm so excited about with Dante Thornton. Because like you said, he didn't get enough clock at Oregon. He did not. And Josh Heupel and Joey Halsley, they are like that is what this offense is about. It's not of course it's about going fast, but it's about creating mismatches. That's all
That's
they
it.
do.
That's
And you
it.
get him on a backer, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Just throw him the ball.
It's 6 every
Like,
time.
you know what I mean? Like, and that's with like whoever, man. Now you put a linebacker on Squirrel White.
It's
I
over.
mean,
Something Brew McCoy said on Tuesday when they did a lot of the player interviews or they asked him, Brew, you've been here now. This is year 2 under the system. Like, how are you feeling about this wide receiver room? And Brew said, the difference between this year and last year is that I feel like every time one of us touches the ball, it can be an explosive play.
mm,
Like, he is like, it doesn't he literally is like, now it doesn't have to be a 50-yard bomb to Jalen. It doesn't have to be a quick post that we can just take to the house. Like, it can be a screen. It could be a 5-yard out route, and somebody just takes it and just makes a play. He's like, I just feel like this room is so explosive. And man, Dante brings that. I don't know if you've seen Brew too, man. Like, Brew looks amazing.
Yeah, bro. And we kind of talked about this earlier on the phone, man. He was my third, but I'm more excited to see Dante Thornton. But he was really close to the third. Was Ramel Keaton?
Yeah.
But I think Ramel developed, like, when he got put on the spot last year. Cedric Tillman goes out. It's like, hey, Ramel, you got to step up. You know what I mean?
You saying this right now makes me think that they asked Joe Milton on Tuesday. They said, Joe, do you think that Ramel's rapport with you is going to, is that going to help him get on the field? I'm thinking, like, that's not a good question. Like,
No.
because I'm friends with Joe, like, it's going to help me get on the field. And Joe literally said, I thought Ramel played a lot last year. Like, he literally said, am I remembering right, or didn't Ramel like do his thing last year? Like, he literally said it like that. And he's like, man, Ramel is working. He's like, I see him in here all the time on the jugs, like 40-yard jugs, 10-yard jugs, 50-yard jugs. Like, he's on the jugs all the time. He's working. He's opening up as a leader. He's like, Ramel is going to be great this year.
He had the best catch, in my opinion, last year.
Oh, against Florida? Yeah.
That best catch all year. Not the clutchest catch, but the best catch all year by far.
Man, that was a big catch, bro. 99-yard drive to catch that, like, on second and 7. That's what that was.
Yeah. I mean, that's full. He's full blown extended on
full blown extendo. You hear what I'm talking about? Full blown. But going back to Dante, as we wrap up the show today, man, like, the problems he is going to create, the speed is elite, the hands are elite, the body is elite, and it is ready to play at the SEC level. I told you this, man, like months ago. I said they didn't hold him out of spring for no reason.
Well, and man, I think you'll agree with me. Some players just don't fit in the system the right way.
Yep.
And I think that's one thing I'm so excited about, is that he fits the system.
Perfect.
And like, I'm not dissing Oregon's coaches. I'm really not. I'm not saying that right now.
I am. Thank you.
But like, you got a dude that's 6'5", 205, runs a 4.6. Like,
oh, he faster than 4.6.
Like, you got to utilize him more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're like, I don't know.
He's way faster than 4.6.
4.5?
Somebody said he ran a 4.4, bro. Clocked it. 4.4. 4.4s, I'm tipping. Wood grain, I'm gripping. Catch me lane switching with the paint dripping. You know what I'm talking about? So,
let's see. Wow.
Yeah.
Dante Thornton is 6'5".